Hello, my name is Jason Powell, and I have prepared a PowerPoint presentation to explain how I built a swing set fort for my kids last summer. Just some background information on my woodworking hobby. I have been woodworking for a little over 8 years. I've mostly learned by watching TV, specifically Norm Abrams and the New Yankee Workshop, reading books, magazines, and of course lots of trial and error. My main interest in woodworking is furniture construction, and this is my largest project to date. The first part of the project is the planning phase. I had to locate plans that I wanted to build that would meet exactly what I wanted. Fortunately, I found a book at my local library, so I didn't have to purchase plans, and it was exactly what I wanted. The next step was to estimate the costs. I had to make sure to see what kind of tools that I need, and what kind of tools that I needed to purchase, what kind of drill bits I needed. And next I needed to decide what kind of pressure treated lumber I was going to use. I decided to use the ACQ, which is the alkaline copper quat pressure treated, and it's a little more expensive, but it's less toxic than the commonly used CCA version. Here is a list of the project supplies that I needed. I had to buy 350 linear feet of dimensional lumber in specific widths, 68 lag screws and washers, 280 wood screws, 2 swings, 1 tarp, 1 slide, and 1 glider. The first construction step was that I cut every single piece to length. Then I pre-drilled the holes needed for the lag screws, and I counterbored the holes. And the counterbore, just what it did was it recessed the head of the screw. That way it was just below the surface of the wood. Then I assembled the front and rear panel. The front panel had the slide and the steps. The rear panel did not. It was just a mirror image of the front panel other than the slide and the steps. And the last step was to attach the side pieces that connected the front and the rear panel. Then I attached the deck boards or flooring, attached the slide, attached the ladder, attached the tarp, attached the swing beam, hang the swings and glider, and attach the fort fence pickets. One of the things that I learned a lot was to let the wood air dry. I let the wood sit for 2 weeks. Pressure treated lumber is usually pretty wet when you get it, so it's good to let it dry before you start cutting it. Then the next thing I learned was very successful with was using guide stops for crosscuts. This project had a lot of pieces of lumber that were the exact same length, so I used a lot of stops. That way I knew the pieces that were cut were exactly the same length. I labeled every single piece and had them in groups. And then I used a 1/2-inch roundover bit, and what that did was it rounded over a lot of the edges of the wood. That way, if one of the kids would grab it with their hand, they wouldn't get any splinters. And unfortunately, this project took double what I estimated. And this is the finished product. I was very happy with the way it turned out. It turned out much better than I expected, and my kids were extremely thrilled. Thank you. Any questions?